Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about study skills because final season is here and I really need to enter my studious Rory Gilmore era and really grind through these next weeks. So I also wanted to share my little routines and tips because so far I've been feeling pretty confident and I hope you guys will feel the same way about your own exams. So starting off, I want to talk about the development of my notes over the past few years. And I think in 8th grade, I had way too much time on my hands because, as you can see, these aesthetic looking notes with the fancy calligraphy, different colors, color coordination, all of that would never be possible in high school. And I did not know how to take notes, so I just looked off of Pinterest and other places for inspiration and copied it down. And honestly, I feel like it worked out pretty well because I was able to understand and really memorize the content of my notes pretty fast, but once again, this would never be possible in high school. And as you can see here, I kind of switched to more minimal and simple notes with just the black and white and smaller calligraphy. I use symbols to separate my topics, and I condensed my notes a lot for Socratic seminar cheat sheets where I would need to have as much information as possible. Going into high school as a freshman, I wasn't really sure how to take notes because I have to take them differently for each subject. So I would start off just writing in pencil, and honestly this was super difficult because later on when I was looking back, I could not read a single thing I wrote. Even though my handwriting was good, I just didn't understand what I was doing. So I started using black and blue pen and also highlighter to differentiate the different things that I went over in my notes. And honestly, this made such a big difference. I could easily find what I was looking for, and it also made making cheat sheets for tests so much easier, so I highly recommend it. This is one of my favorite study guides that I've made so far. It just looks so aesthetically pleasing. Even though I bombed my test for this, I still felt good about my study sheets. That's all that matters to me. For biology, I started adding diagrams and more color and using a freaking pen because I'm not playing Where's Waldo with my notes, trying to find the stuff I need to revise the night before the test, and labeling the different parts of my notes, so vocabulary words, different parts of my diagrams, etc. of that. It just makes such a big difference compared to just pencil. And for math, I don't take notes anymore at all, but if I did, I would use a combination of actual words as well as the equations and formulas that you're using. Also provide lots and lots of examples, that way you can refer to it later, and just do it step by step, I guess. Okay, so here are some of the supplies that I use on a pretty regular basis. My pencil case is the Peach character from Cacao Friends, and it holds all the stuff I need. Starting off, I have my Papermate and Pentel 0.5mm pencils. These don't get jammed often, and I really like them because they're not super fancy, so it's okay if I break them. And then the Zebra mild liners, I have 3. These don't bleed, so I highly recommend them. Muji gel ink, I have the Nock type and the Cap type, both 0.5. These are the best pens ever. They've been my go-to for about 2 to 3 years. And they just write so smooth. This is the Nock type one compared to the Cap type. The Nock type one works so much better. It makes my handwriting look like a completely different font, and it's just so much smoother. So if you ever have the chance to buy Muji pens, I would say get the Nock type one. And then lastly, I have some other miscellaneous items that I could not survive without, especially this Glossier Balm.com, because I cannot have dry lips at school. I just can't, you know? Moving on, I want to talk about time management because I feel like this is a universal struggle for students no matter how busy you are. So I wanted to share my personal schedule that I try to follow throughout the week. Some of my friends stay up until 5 a.m. doing work, but luckily I never had that issue. I usually spend about this much time on each subject when I'm working. I try to not get distracted and just get it done so I can relax later. I do as much work as possible at school, so in the library, in class, at lunch, even on the train. Literally whenever I get a chance, I will be doing work. I want to keep my school life separate from my home as much as possible. When I get home, I'm always hungry, so I just eat a silly little snack and rest for a bit before I start planning what I need to do for the day. This is my current planner for 2023. I got it from Daiso. And I usually just write down my schoolwork, homework, club meetings, fencing, other extracurriculars. But I think last year's was definitely much better because, like I said, I had more time, so I was able to decorate it with a ton of pretty stickers, and I was able to make spreads. And I think like when your school supplies look pretty, you'll just want to use it more. So I highly recommend putting in that effort. That way you'll like want to use it more and you'll be able to stick to like planning with it. Okay, back with the voiceover. Like I said, I think it's really important to limit your distractions when you study, so I like to make my desk clean and just full of the things that don't distract me as much as possible. I can't focus when I'm in a dirty space, so I try to clean my room beforehand, that way I'm not bothered by it later. You can find a full room tour on my channel if you're interested, but this is just like a brief overview of what my room looks like when it's clean. Staying motivated in school can be really difficult, especially for people like myself who tend to get lazy pretty easily, but one thing I like to remember is that with every A on my report card, I could get like rewards for it. For example, Krispy Kreme will give you a free donut for every A, at least in the US, I think. And I know there are a lot of other places that have like similar reward programs, so if you're like me and you like free food, I would definitely recommend, like putting in that effort because you can get those donuts or whatever else is available in your country. So to recap, don't procrastinate, keep your study space clean, and take breaks. For note-taking, skip lines, and use different color pens and highlighters. And that's a wrap for this video. If you stuck around to the end, thank you, and let me know what kind of tips you use for studying down in the comments. I'll see you guys next time, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!